Hi all, let's have a look at another very interesting game of Bobby Fischer. This was against Laszlo Szabo in 1960. The game kicked off with d4. So this is in the Leipzig Olympiad, the final group A. So Fischer played knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, king's Indian, defense, bishop g5, quite early here, d6, queen d2. Now Fischer plays c5, d5, e6 hitting at white's centre. White now plays bishop d3. Quite often in this position an alternative seen is f3, for example, like this, where it's thought to be about equal, this kind of start position. But in here, in this position, in this game rather, bishop d3, we have e takes d, knight takes d5. That's an interesting way of recapturing. Also possible is c takes, and we have a kind of Benoni transposition with an even position, roughly even. So okay, knight takes d5, Fischer plays bishop e6, we have knight e2, and now bishop takes d5, e takes, knight bd7, white castles, and now knight e5 with the intent of just grabbing that bishop before doing anything else. That's an interesting decision. It's clear that the bishop is actually discouraging any a6 and b5, so why not just try and get rid of that here. f4, and this is slightly controversial in a way. It looks to be quite attacking, but it's weakening some dark squares, and this is a very sensitive diagonal which can often be used tactically. Let's see what happens now. Knight takes d3, queen takes, and Fischer kicks this bishop. It goes to h4, rook e8, and now we have rook ae1, and now queen b6, just looking at that b2 pawn. This is already a fairly pleasant position actually for black. If white plays b3 here, he didn't. He actually took on f6. But let's have a look at b3. Black seems to be fine with knight e4. This bishop is very nice across that diagonal. And if say f5, g5, maybe white's best would be knight c1 here to hit the knight. And it's an interesting game position. But okay, we have bishop takes f6. This is slightly more controversial than just playing b3, because not only has white weakened the diagonal, he's equipping black with this dark square bishop without a counterpart. So can white actually survive with these dark square weaknesses plus this dark square bishop here? Let's see. White plays f5, but how does Fischer actually exploit his dark square apparent advantage? Well, he doesn't want to take on b2 in this position. He safeguards his king with g5, and white plays b3, and here we have a key move, I believe, which does emphasize black's dark square grip quite significantly and shows some major problems for white have arisen already. Can you see the move Fischer plays in this position if I give you 5 seconds starting from now? Okay, it's a dual purpose move, queen a5, not only looking at nabbing a pawn, but there's a kind of pin that's being created here on a dark square, that e1 square, the knight. It's difficult to move the knight without dropping the rook now. White actually just gave up the pawn, but this echoes some undertones which are very difficult to handle. if he played a4, can you see what black would have in this position, which exploits all the factors I've just mentioned really about the dark squares in this diagonal earlier? If I give you 5 seconds here, what would you play with black? Okay. Yeah, that pin knight can be exploited, bishop d4 check. So white can't take without dropping the rook. And this position gives black the e3 square. So bang, doubling rooks is then possible. And it's just an overwhelming position for black. The knight's still pinned to the rook. The queen is eyeing e1. This is a massive pin. Black's doing fantastically well. This is like basically a winning position. So it had to be avoided, that kind of continuation. Even here the knight's still pinned because we have, well, rook e3 is strong. Sorry, the knight's not technically pinned, but yeah, rook e3. Okay, so let's see, in the game continuation, yeah, white just gave up the a2 pawn and perhaps thought there was something in this position, but you know, maybe white was dreaming of knight g3 to h5. But here a kind of clinical move is played by Fischer again. Can you see what black plays in this position, not giving white really much of a chance to build up any sort of attack? Okay, rook e3, so responding to his queen being attacked by attacking the opponent's queen, trying to deflect the queen away from c2. Now after queen takes e3, queen takes c2, this knight can't move because of bishop d4. So white's pretty stuck here. The king moves out of that dangerous diagonal, but now a5. Fischer's going to wreck this pawn chain with a4 if nothing else. h4, a4, and actually the game ended here. White had enough. He felt his position was lost. Let's give an example. Let's see an example continuation. hg, bishop takes, knight f4. Yeah, because it's pretty bad, this position. If the queen goes to f2, we can play things like, well, ab or even rook e8. But this is just lost. Yeah, this position. You can see that pass pawn's going to be winning. So yeah, the game ended here. It's a very, very clinical game played by Fischer. In fact, I measured the accuracy, technical accuracy of black's play in this game. It was only like 4 center pawn loss according to one website. Extremely accurate play, and this is back in 1960, 12 years before the World Chess Championship, which Fischer won against Spassky. So even in 1960 he was a very, very accurate, extremely accurate player. Comments, questions, likes, shares appreciated. Thanks so much.